Hello guys, and welcome to this video of the top 5 junglers in patch 6.15. Now this list is based on win rate and a bit of personal opinion and what I see and think is very strong. Now the top 2 in this list have the highest win rate, about 55, 56, 54% roughly. I mean the patch hasn't been out too long, but it gives us a rough idea. So without further ado, we'll start the list off at our number 5. Start our list off at number 5 is Gregas. Now Gregas is very strong in his clear time. He does percentage health damage, is quite a high percent as well, so he can get a clear time in quite fast. He also is very hard to counter gank as well, and he builds pretty much tanky, so picking him also gives your team a guaranteed tank. Another reason why he's a very strong pick is that if you find the enemy jungler, most of the time you can probably kill him because you out damage him with your percentage health as well. I mean, he has great sustain in the jungle as well. Team fights, his ultimate also can be hit or miss, so if it's a good Gregas player playing, he probably will do much better than obviously a bad player, but it'll make it count more in the team fight. So he is more of the higher elo, but if you're low elo, he can still be quite well if you do play him a lot. He doesn't have the greatest of win rate, but he actually has one of the highest growth win rates, so during this patch he probably will get picked more and more, and he will end up a much higher win rate before the patch ends. At number 4 we have Skana. Now Skana was very strong in the post-Juggernaut patches, and he did receive a slight nerf to his W and Q, but recently he's come back, and it seems more, this list is mainly tank junglers really that seem to be doing very well. I mean auto attack champions like Xin, Master Yi aren't doing so well, so Skana, his shield is very spammable in the team fight, and he does have a stun, a slow and a speed up, which is great in the late game as well. I mean, with 45% cooldown reduction on his shield, you get it every 3-4 seconds, so it is very spammable, and it is quite a large shield, which is very overlooked, but it's very spammable. It soaks up so much damage in team fights. He can also peel for his carries as well. He's got a stun as well, which is on a relatively low cooldown as well, and with the Iceborne Gauntlet being so strong, he does very well with that item if you build that on him. I mean, there's no getting away from him with his ultimate as well. The only negatives I feel with Skana is clear time, and his ganks pre-6 are very weak. You have to really position yourself well and get a stun off, but most of the times you're going to get a flash out. His damage isn't great as well. His Q doesn't do too much damage. I think it gives 20% more, 20 AD more attack damage for each canvas as well. So, but all in all, he is a very strong jungler, and he's number 4 on our list. And at number 3 we have Hecarim. Now, one of my personal favourite junglers at the moment, and he did receive a nerf this patch to his Q, so his damage is much lower and his clear time is much lower early. The only difference is, I see he costs a lot more mana to clear the camps, and early he takes a lot more damage. Obviously he takes more time to clear the camps. In regards to his mid game and late game, it doesn't really affect him too much, I don't think. The reason I put him on this list is if you can get past the actual early game or the first few clears, once you get to level 4 or 5 you can actually clear when you get your items. He is very strong. Now his kit is mainly based around movement speed, like his E and his ultimate, so in team fights his ultimate remains unchanged. I mean, he's still very strong, he's great, has great mobility as well, so this change didn't really affect him too much, and I think he's still a very strong jungler, and it's more likely that he's going to get played now, because a lot of people think, oh, he got nerfed and they won't ban him, because he had at one stage he had a 53% ban rate. So all in all, you should really start playing Hecarim, I think, if you can get past the early game. Maybe even change the rune sets and he will still be very strong. So he's going to be a sleeping horse, as I could say. At number 2 we have Rammus. Now I haven't seen too many Rammuses being played at the moment. I've picked him up, I've played him, I didn't do too great, I don't really play him that much. But his win rate at the moment has skyrocketed. It's about 54.35%. And the reason being is this: a lot more players are playing AD focused champions like Yasuo, Zed, and Rammus can exploit that. Also, he's very tanky, he fits into a lot of team comps. His ganks are, if you can land your E, they are very strong. Another reason he has such a high win rate is he can peel. His E at max rank actually does nearly 2 seconds, well over 2 seconds taunt, which is no other champion really has that. That's like an ultimate, and it's quite a relatively low cooldown. If it's a long team fight, you can actually use it twice. And with the jungle items not really benefiting too many champions, or that his build overall, like full mail, full armor. If you're against a full AD team, he's better than even Malphite. Another thing to take into consideration is the mobility of champions. Now there is a lot of more objectives on the map now. Rift Herald, Dragon Baron. There's a lot of champions that are benefiting from this. So Rammus, Hecarim, they do Lee Sin even. They do very well if you can get around the map. And ganks pre-6 aren't that important. I mean, he's level 6, he doesn't really get a power spike, but team fights he does very well. So pick up Rammus if you can. He's probably going to start getting banned as well because he's very strong. And the number 1 jungler on our list is a MooMoo. Now MooMoo has spiked at a 56% win rate at some days, some hours throughout the day. The reason being for this is his clear time isn't great, but he's actually one of the strongest team fight champions. Overall, having him on your team will guarantee probably a win, more so than any other champion could possibly can. So in this game, the strongest jungler is probably a MooMoo. And we all know the sole reason for a MooMoo's kit is the ultimate, and it does make it it is quite easy to actually hit level 6 on him. You only have to go B once and your red buff will probably be up if you do the proper jungle route. So that is actually benefiting him quite a great deal, because his level 6 ganks are probably one of the best. If you go bot lane, you're guaranteed a kill. There's no way you should not get a kill if you're good at jungling. I mean, what a difference a game would make if you can just guaranteed double kill bot. So with that being said, I'll keep an eye on the win rates and I'll keep you all updated. But do check out my other videos. I've done a video on top laners, the most strongest top laners as well. And hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helps. Thanks for watching.